Hey there, it's Sunday morning and got a change of location for this one. Normally I do these out in my workshop, but I thought that I would do it down here in my basement where I temporarily hung the poster that I just finished. I say temporarily because I put it here to get a picture of it. Where it's actually going to go is in the stairwell. Actually on the wall that you face when you're coming down the stairs. And I'm going to have another, I want to make it like a series of these different, I can't say a different style, they'll all be in the same style, but they'll be different, made differently. So this is the first one, and it has this kind of neat optical illusion on the top and the sides, and the bottom doesn't carry the illusion, and that was intentional. I wanted it to, that's the thing I like about Art Deco, which this is inspired by. That's what I like about Art Deco design. It kind of screws with your head a little bit when you look at it. It blends symmetry with things that are like, okay, in this instance right here, you have the top, which is that optical illusion, and it looks deep and bigger. And then you look at the bottom and it looks different, but it's still symmetrical. It's symmetrical side to side, just like this is up here. But when you look at it from top to bottom, they're not symmetrical, they're unbalanced. And I've always, that kind of thing has always appealed to me. I love symmetry, but I need something, I need to break it in some way. I know that probably sounds odd, but that's just the way I am. Okay, I don't like everything to match. I want things to match. I really do, but I don't like it when they do. It seems too, I don't know, it's my contrarian nature, I guess, you know, my non-conforming nature that does this. But yeah, this is the kind of thing that I came up with. To be honest, I searched for images online and I found some stuff. Also, I went through the season of American Horror Story Hotel that features a hotel that has a lot of Art Deco style woodwork in it. And I think that was probably one of the golden ages, probably the premier golden age of woodwork was the 100 years ago, the 20s, the 1920s, not the 2020s, okay? Because you're not, you know, obviously, I mean, you can still see that kind of thing these days, but regularly craftsmen were being paid to do this kind of work because labor was cheaper. I'm going to put my board down here. I was going to talk about it in a minute. I'm going to put it over here so it doesn't fall down and disturb us. Labor was cheaper. There was a lot of money happening in the hands of people that would appreciate the work. That's still happening today, of course, but not to the same extent, I don't think. So this was really big back then. And yeah, I just like the look of it. So let's talk about the wood that I have here. This is hickory. It's actually wallboard that I bought at my local lumber place. It's solid wood. It's not plywood or anything, not engineered flooring or anything. It's for the wall. They put it on. And they normally carry this in a mix of cherry, maple, and oak. Like pretty much all the domestic hardwoods, I think, except for walnut. I don't think I've ever seen walnut in this stuff before. But they got a shipment of hickory in, and quite a bit of it. And I bought up what they had, and I think I have enough to do the floor down here in my listening room, and this area right here, I'm going to refer to as lobby. Okay. Now, let's back up a little bit because, you know, I kind of finished the listening room, and I kind of started laying carpet tiles down, and these are cheap peel and stick carpet tiles, and I did that just to kind of give it a finished appearance. And so I finished that in there recently, and I came out here with the same thing. I put these carpet tiles down, and it was my intention to leave those maybe for a year or two, it depends, and then eventually get some laminate flooring and put over top of it. Leave the carpet tiles down, but put the laminate flooring on top of it, it's like a pad. All right, but then I found this deal right here, and I think I have enough to do this area, like the two areas. But, you know, I was thinking I would buy it so that I would have it, like take advantage of the deal while I could get it, and then I could find a time, maybe sometime next year or even the year after. But it's sitting upstairs in my hall, basically the only place in this small house where it'll fit. And I don't want to put it out in my shop or anything like that. I've got a lumber rack out there in my shop, but it's loaded, completely loaded. I don't even have any more space left on it. I've got more lumber in the shop leaning against the wall. So it's sitting up there. I keep walking into it. You know, it's kind of annoying being there. And I'm saying to myself, you know, winter's here, really, because it's snowing outside today. And this is the reason why I'm down here I didn't want to walk out to the shop through the snow. And I don't want to shovel it just yet. Sunday, I want to take a break, right? I'm thinking maybe I should lay this floor down here and get rid of it up there. You know, get it out of the way. But I was torn because when I did the carpet tile down here, the carpet tile is a really dark gray. It's almost black. And after I got it done, I like having that floor dark. But as you can see, this is a fairly light wood. It's got a heartwood that's a little bit darker, and it's also got some discolorations throughout it in places that show up. Like you get a bit of a bark inclusion here. But I was thinking I could stain it dark. So I got this gallon of cherry stain that I bought a few years ago that I never got around to using. I bought it for a specific reason, and I never used it for that. So it's been sitting, and I said, well, it's good to use it here. But I tried a sample. I made a sample of it, and it turned out way too red. It's a professional grade stain. It's Mohawk, the product. But the color was absolutely not very good on this hickory anyway. So I said to myself, what about you just try a clear finish? Not water-based, but something that actually brings out the grain and the color differences. And this is a single coat of linseed oil that I just put on before I came down here. And that would be the finish that I'd be using down here, just linseed oil. Just put it on one coat, let it sink in, see how it looks. If it needs another coat, put on another coat, let it sink in, dry, and then renew it as it wears out, with the idea of maintaining a fairly raw wood appearance, right? And like this is not a high traffic area anyway, so like it should stand up just fine. So that was my thinking there. And I'll hold it up here so you can see it. This is with the oil, and this is raw without the oil. I like the color. I love the way this looks, but it's not dark. So I don't know. You know, I was liking the dark, and I'm trying to picture it. And another thing that I'm trying to picture, because this has color variation in it, okay? And my speakers, the ones that I just finished not that long ago, have the same look. So are they going to clash? You know, your floor that's got that color variation, and you got the speakers almost like they're growing out of the floor with the same type of thing. So I don't know. Maybe I guess paint the speakers. Maybe I'll paint them purple. Right? Get that instead of having the you know, the beautiful cherry, I could paint them purple. Nice shiny purple.
There's a layer of mist just covering the eggs that reacts when broken.